What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction, and in this one we have CIA assassin reveals genius of British intelligence MI6. I'm so excited to dive right into this. Before we do, if you guys happen to enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and if you'd like to support this channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is smash that join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Let's hear about MI6.
What's up, guys? If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, please smash that like button on the video and enjoy the show.
One thing you've kept on mentioning, though, a few times that is a little off topic, but I did want to ask about it. You keep on shouting out, like, the British services for, I guess, like, some of their special forces techniques combined with their spy techniques. Like, what makes them mention in the same breath, per se, with, like, counterterrorism as Israel? Why are they so good?
Well, so I've actually had the privilege and opportunity to train with, or not train with, but operate with guys from SAS when I was in Iraq. They were there in the same compound. So I got to know some of these guys, you know, very, one thing I'll tell you about those dudes, man, they had probably the funniest sense of humor of any freaking dudes I ever met. They were fucking funny guys. Anyway, what they did is they just took, you know, that game to the next level. They were the ones that really got into the dynamics of hostage rescue. I mean, that's what their bread and butter is hostage rescue. You know, they, for example, the selection process to get in the SAS, Delta basically took their selection process and made it their own. So you know, think about that for a second. Yeah. And of course, you know, the guys, the original plank owners from Delta, you know, trained a lot with the SAS guys to get, like, how do you do this? How do you take down an airplane? How do you take down a train? How do you do this? So they were kind of like the first people that really honed it. Even though the Israelis were doing it prior, the British SAS guys really sharpened that sword, so to speak.
Really perfected that craft, it sounds like. Again, it's always awesome to hear like that relationship between the UK and the US military and how they work together so much in drills and everything. And as an American, I feel like growing up, we were always told like America's the greatest, military is the strongest, most powerful. And I've seen like multiple videos where it's like US and UK and the army training exercise in the UK, even with less forces or something, they always figure out a way to outsmart America or outwit. And so it sounds like they're just kind of like on the ball when it comes to these things, as where Delta, one of U.S. famous task force, I would call it task force. If not, please correct me. They got their training selection from the SAS. I did not know that. Like, that's really interesting to find out. And the SAS has just mastered, I guess, hostage negotiation. Was that what he said? But a lot of the things, I guess, that they do here in America, I guess, they kind of got from the SAS, SAS or SBS, willing to help out and kind of teach. And so that's really cool.
Guys really sharpened that sword, so to speak. And they're very good at it, obviously. You know, if you want to watch a really good movie, you know, watch the movie about the Princess Kate. I'm trying to remember the name of it. There's been several. One was very realistic, according to like interviews I saw with guys that were there, that were actually on that raid. But
if y'all can drop the movies in the comment section, I would absolutely love to check them out.
Google it and find it. Just you can just see.
I think it shows right here at the bottom, 6 days movie.
How methodical. Yep, that's it right there. 6 days.
6 days.
There we go.
That's a very, very good movie. You're not going to recognize any of the actors at all, but it is it's an excellent, excellent movie. I think it portrayed the regiment in a very, very good light, and it was an amazing hostage rescue. I mean, it's, you know, a couple things went wrong, but they flowed. Like one dude, if I'm not mistaken, he was rappelling down the backside of the building and got knotted up. Something happened with his carabiner, and he was just basically hanging there above a door that they were getting a breach or a window or something. And anyway, just like stuff like that. That's where those units make their money. Because anywhere else, that's like, uh-oh, and everything comes to a screeching halt. Right?
Yeah.
Not there. Not at that level. It's just critical thinking skills come in. What do we do? I think they cut the guy down something very quickly, and another guy got caught on fire going through a window or some shit, like
Oh my
I think
gosh.
a curtain or something fell on him. And anyway, just, dude, kept flowing. And everybody talks about, and we can get into training stuff here real second, but like, everybody talks about, the tenets of CQB: speed, surprise, violence of action. Well, actually, there's a fourth tenet that nobody wants to talk about, and that's momentum. You have to keep the momentum. You can't just get bogged down in a hallway or in a room or, whatever. You have to keep moving. When you become stagnant in that environment, bad shit happens.
Yeah.
So-
okay, I love that fact. When you talked about critical thinking, and that's really incredible. So when the mistake is made, or like you said, when not ties up, they don't have time to like pause or panic or hesitate or any of that. They just, their brains, I guess, start firing off and figuring out ways. He said that's where they make their money. That's where they're masters. It starts firing off ways how to keep it going, how to keep everything going. So figure out how to cut them down. Everything goes in on fire and everything, but they keep that momentum. They keep on moving. Even when they run into, he said you can't get stagnant in these situations because these are life or death situations, I assume he's talking about. So you can't be stagnant. You have to have the ability to not panic, to not hesitate, but to think clearly even in these moments, which is absolutely an incredible ability, I feel like, to have. Because I feel like where most people would absolutely panic, they're taught, they're trained, very well trained from what I've heard, to not panic in these moments. They just figure it out on the fly. Love that.
So like when I've taught it and I talk about, the tenets of CQB, yeah, it is speed, surprise, violence of action, but I also added momentum. And I think it's very applicable to, and I didn't come up with that, just an FYI, it's not my thing. I've heard other people talk about it, people that I respected. I'm like, you know what? That fucking makes sense. Because that's absolutely what I experienced. Like, you cannot, like, come to a screeching halt in a hallway, or especially in a hostage rescue type situation, like where you have to get to the to the hostages quickly. You can't be fiddle farting around in a hallway, and like, you got to get there immediately. Yeah. And how do you pick up that momentum? Well, that's what flashbangs and distraction devices are for. And anyway, not getting into all the tactics, but anyway, but yeah, but a lot of people don't talk about it, and it's really strange because, and I talk about really experienced guys, and to me, I ain't the most experienced guy in the world, but to me, it makes sense. Yeah, speed, absolutely. Surprise, yes. Violence of action, yes. And a lot of people even get that third one wrong. Like, what is violence of action? And it's actually, to me, a mindset. It is an overwhelming mindset that I am better trained than you. I'm physically stronger than you. I'm better. And that just gives me that ability to deliver like violence of action on the target, like wham, like there's no hesitation, there's no doubt. When I come through this door, you're gonna lose, period. Like that to me, and some people may disagree with me.
I feel like that's kind of a must-have mindset. I feel like this, like, and I hate to compare this to sports because we're talking about the Army, the military, one of the most special forces in the world, comparing it to sports. But like when you talk about the elite of the elite and the best of the best, they always feel like they're the best. When you catch them in interviews, they always, you know what I'm saying? They step out basketball, they step out on that court, 10 players on that court, they feel like I'm the best player on this court. Football, step out on that field, I'm the best player on this field. In any sport, the elite of the elite think that they are the best, and they don't believe that anyone is better than them or that they can be beaten. And I feel like you kind of have to have that mindset. He's talking about that mindset here and how it applies to these situations. Yeah, when I bust through this door, I am the best. Like, there is nobody on this door that can beat me. You have to have that mindset going into a situation, because I feel like if you leave any room for doubt or hesitation, that can be the difference between life and death. Let me know what you guys think about that. He said not everybody agrees with him, I believe he just said, but let me know what you guys think.
Period. Like, that to me, and some people may disagree with me, but to me, that's what it means, because that's what I felt. when they talked about it, like violence of action was a mindset with me. And did I actually have that day one? No, I did not.
Yeah.
Didn't have it. Had it a little bit, but as I got better and better and, worked with guys that exemplified that, I'm like, the kind of light bulb went off. Like, I get it now. Like, you're fucked.
Love that.
When
I love that.
these people come for you, you have no chance.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Like, you literally don't have a snowball's chance in hell of surviving.
And I also like reacted to like people what soldiers from other countries said about American soldiers, and that's on my main channel. And that's kind of what they were saying. Like it was like when they're coming, like you're done. Like it's over. And so them believing in that themselves then instills that into their enemies. It makes them believe, all right, if they're coming for us, we're done. We're F. And so it instills that fear within enemies, and that's crazy to think about, but yeah, that mindset is an absolute necessity.
And to me, that's what violence of action is. Like, it's just it's a mindset. It's very powerful, dude. It's very powerful.
When Remy was in here, and I remember you had some similar sentiments too, but he put it like exact on the point. He was talking about how at the highest levels, like in the Navy SEALs, if they've been able to identify like one core gene that makes someone, this person's going to be in and they're going to make it and they're going to be the guy they want. He said, no, they haven't.
No.
There's some intangibles that can only be seen once they're put
That's right.
in the spotlight for
That's
something.
right.
Not necessarily on the battlefield yet, but some of the stuff like what you laid out last time, some of the stuff you even get put through. There's a thing, you can't say what it is, but it's not tangible.
And dude, let me tell you, you can't just look at somebody and
Right.
go, that guy's a stud.
Right.
Let me tell you, those guys are usually the first ones that quit.
Yep.
In my experience,
That's what
then
he
you
said,
look
too.
at this, oh, really?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you look at this guy like, dude. Mm-hmm. And then guess who's standing at graduation?
Yeah. He said there was one
That's
guy, I think
crazy.
this was Remy who said this. He said there was one guy who was like hardcore crazy triathlete, someone that they had been asking to come do buds for a long time.
Sure.
And he finally agreed to do it. And everyone thought, of course.
He's going to
gonna
smoke
be the
it.
first.
He was gone.
He was
yeah,
gone.
of course. Yeah, dude, that's the whole, this is what I coach people. It's great to be physically strong, which you have
Mentally.
to be in a special operations, being in special forces or SEALs
Yeah.
or whatever. You have to be physically strong. Give me a break, dude. But without that mental toughness, it's like having a Ferrari body with a Volkswagen engine in it. It just
yeah.
ain't gonna work.
Yep.
And when you start heaping, especially a program like Buds, Buds is an amazing, I've never been to it, but it's an amazing selection course to get to the SEAL teams. And it's very, very well thought out. And its sole function is, I'm sure like the first phase of it during Hell Week, it's just to weed out the guys that may be mentally or physically strong enough to do it, but they just don't have it mentally. They just don't. And I'm sure you could ask anybody, Sean or any of these guys that have been in the SEAL teams, just like SFAS selection. It's a physically demanding, wear your ass down day after day after day, where it gets to a point where, yeah, you're a physical stud, but you're past that now. You got blisters on your feet that are this big. I lost all my freaking toenails. I had a stress fracture. I mean, that physical fitness is not going to get you through that.
Oh, I losing all your toenails, blisters on your toes. See, I know me personally, I'm not built for that. Like it's not who I am. But I can understand where he's coming from because you may be physically strong enough or physically fit enough to have joined the force. But it sounds like the selection process is a process. We're going to push you to your physical limits. And then that's where the selection comes in. We're going to see how mentally tough you are. When you are at your physical limit, can you continue to push your body? Can you continue to keep going? Or will you give in? That kind of mental toughness should be applauded. Because like there's only a few select that make it. That are mentally strong enough to get through and push themselves through. And so that's why they're the elite of the elite. That's why that should be freaking celebrated. Yeah. like to push yourself to that point is something that most people just aren't capable of, or maybe they are, but they can't do it, and they can't seem to click into whatever it is to take to push your body beyond its limits.
It's just not. Your mind is going to get you through that. You've got to take yourself to a place where you just kind of, the pain is still there, but it's dulled. I don't know how to explain it.
No, you're explaining it beautifully.
Yeah, it's dulled. It's like, yeah, this fucking sucks, but it's dulled. Or you're concentrating on somebody else. Like, and that's why they're so big on team stuff. Like, I would concentrate on another guy that maybe was having a trouble and focus on him. Hey, dude, let me help you out. And you're not worrying about your pain right now. I'm worried about him. That helps. Does it make it go away? No. Does it dull it? Yeah, it sure does. Yeah, it sure does. To a manageable point where you're like, I can deal with this for another day. And then you get to the next day. I can make it to dinner. You know what I mean? That's how you make it. That's how you make it through courses like that.
So you're gamifying it in a way.
Kind of, but you're not looking at like graduation. Like I looked at SFAS, like the guy's like, dude, just make it to dinner every night. Just say, I'm going to show up to dinner. I'm showing up to dinner every night.
I love
That's
that.
it.
I love that.
Okay. You can't be thinking a week or 2 weeks or 3. Like you can't. If you do, I think that's.
I love that so much.
Dangerous. You know, I think you're biting off more than you can chew. But just, I'm gonna make it to dinner. You make the dinner, like, oh cool, I made it. I can make it one more day. One more day, and that's how you get through courses. And dude, I'll be the first one to tell you, I was not prepared for SFAS. I showed up with brand new boots. As a matter of fact, I remember when I dumped my shit out. The one instructor was like, don't even unpack. He looked at me and said, don't even unpack. Yeah. And so I suffered, you know, a lot of guys, there's guys that, dude, there are guys that make it through selection courses like SFAS and Ranger School and Buds that come out the other side kind of like, yeah, that sucked, but they just were prepared mentally, physically, emotionally. And I'm sure you could ask guys besides myself. They're like, yeah, there were a few guys like that just, meh. You know, I wasn't one of them. You know, I suffered. I wasn't prepared. I didn't take the time to break my boots in. I didn't do enough ruck marching.
You know what, though? In getting to know you.
That's crazy to think about. That I love the way he broke it down into like, the goal is to make it to be selected. That's what the goal is, to make it past training and be selected and become a member. But he didn't look at it that as saying that every single day. His main focus every single day, I can make it to dinner. I can make it one more day. Just make it to dinner. And you just constantly telling yourself over and over that, I'll just make it to dinner, just make it to dinner. And then you get to dinner and you say, I've made it. All right, well, I can stick around for tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, just make it to dinner. He is so many, like, just all those, every step was what got him to his final destination. He did not try to skip. It is even mentally. He didn't skip steps. He was so focused on just that daily goal, that goal of making it to dinner. That over time, those daily goals added up, and now he accomplished what he set out to accomplish. But he didn't look at, that's what I'm trying to accomplish the entire time. The entire time he's going through the journey, make it to dinner. I love that so much.
You over the past year, you're one of these guys that there's something in you that, and we see this in a lot of guys who do high-level military stuff. It's not just that you crave the action, you also crave the challenge needing to get even bigger as you go. Like you crave the difficulty of things. It's almost like that's that conquering gene that we all are born with because we're animals, right? There's something deep inside of us that makes us need to feel like we got to the top of something. And you're always chasing that through, for a long time, it was adventure vis-a-vis serving your country, but it's never really stopped. I mean, you do it now with your teaching in a lot of ways, constantly trying to push the boundaries depending on who the clientele is of what you can do. Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.
That was such a dope video to react to, because I feel like most of the stuff they talked about, people can apply to their daily lives. People can apply to whatever field they want to be absolutely like the best in. They want to be elite in. And I love that at the end he's like that thing in your head that just wants to conquer, that just, and I feel like I always talk about that, not in a sense of concrete, but like I always talk about it in the sense of in my head, I just want more. Like I just want more. Like it seems like once you accomplish what you set out to accomplish, you want something else to accomplish. You want something else to chase. You want something else to go after. You want to see how far you can go. And once I've accomplished it, okay, I want to see if I can go this far now. And to me, I do that a lot with money. My brain's like, let's see if I can make like 5K this month, which I still haven't hit that goal of clearing 5K on YouTube. And it'd be incredible if I did. But I know once I hit that goal, I'll be like, let's see if I can get to 6. Like it won't be let's see if I can maintain 5. But let's see if I can get to 6. Like and I do that all the time with money in my head. Like I said, I'm still chasing 5. So take it day by day. But absolutely love that video. Absolutely love the mindset. Everything about that. Those two were both awesome in that interview. Let me know how you guys feel in the comment section. If you enjoyed that, please don't forget to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. Check out the next one. I'll see you guys next time.